Channel from Learfield IMG College. Triple P on the Blue Hedgehog TV. Now here's the voice of the PCS Ray, Mr. Daniel Voiles. Welcome to the Post Brickyard 400 edition of Triple P, Daniel Voiles in our PCS Ray studios. Just doing a quick test, and it looks like everybody definitely can hear. Definitely ready to go over tonight's show. Ignore it says Hogwarts Legacy. I will fix it when I put on YouTube. So we're gonna go ahead and start recapping, starting with the Hungarian Grand Prix top 10 results. Just to get that out of the way. We got Oscar Piastri, the winner, Norris second, Lewis Hamilton third, Charles Leclerc fourth, Max Verstappen fifth, Carlos Sainz Jr. sixth, Sergio Perez seventh, George Russell eighth, ninth was Yuki Tsunoda, Lance Stroll complete the top 10. Then we go to the IndyCar race from Toronto. Their top 10 Hurd the winner, Kyle Kirkwood second, Scott Dixon third, Alex Palou fourth, Marcus Armstrong fifth, David Maluka sixth, Christian Lundgaard seventh, Rinus VK eighth, Roman Grosjean ninth. Will complete the top 10. Now let's discuss Indianapolis. Race wasn't too bad, if you ask me. First incident of the race, the 0-2 of Mason Massey cut a right front tire down and went into the wall. At the same time, Ty Dillon spun going into turn number 3. Stage 1 was completed, went to Christian Eckes. Second, third was Corey Heim. Fourth was Tyler Ankrum. Fifth was Roger Carruth. Then it was Nick Sanchez. It was Ross Chastain, sorry. Then Nick Sanchez. Then Dean Thompson, Sammy Smith, and Daniel Dye that completed the top 10. And then the 44 of Connor Daly cut a right front tire down, went into the wall, and but continued on his merry little way. The final caution was stage 2. That went to Christian Eckes. Second place was Corey Heim. Third, Tyler Majeski. Fourth was Matt Crafton. Fifth, Tyler Ankrum. Sixth was Ross Chastain. Seventh, Lee Riggs. Eighth was Dean Thompson. Roger Carruth. Ninth and 10th was Nick Sanchez. And Ty Majeski ended up going on to win the truck race. Wasn't exciting as it could be. It could have been a lot worse, but that's just me on a silver platter. So the top 10 results from IRP in the T-Sport 200. Ty Majeski the winner, Christian Eckes second, Grant Enfinger third, Tyler Ankrum fourth, Lane Riggs fifth, Sammy Smith sixth, Luke Fenna seventh, Roger Carruth eighth, Dean Thompson ninth, Nick Sanchez 10th. Only Mason Massey from the 36 starters in Truck Series at IRP failed to finish. Went over to the Xfinity Series race, which I did watch, and we got off to a wreckful start. Contact with Sam Mayer going into turn 3, collected the 15 of Josh Berry, the 8 of Sammy Smith, the 2 of Jesse Love, AJ Allmendinger, Jeremy Clements, Parker Retzlaff, Connor Daly, Jeff Burton, Kyle Sieg, the 19 of, looking here at the results here, the 19 of Joe Graff Jr., as well as the 81 of Chandler Smith in turn number 3. Chandler Smith then had a mechanical problem after he was slow on track, which brought the yellow. The rest of stage 1 was calm and clean. That went to Riley Herbst. Second was AJ Allmendinger. Third was Ryan Sieg. Fourth went to Brandon Jones with Justin Allgaier completing the top 5. Then it was Cole Custer, Kligerman, Eric Almirola, Carson Quaffle, and Matt DiBenedetto completing the top 10. Then the 44 had Possible Fluid, which was from Brandon Poole's machine. The rest of stage 2 was Common Clean. That went to Ryan Sieg. Second went to Eric Almirola. Herbst. Fourth went to AJ Allmendinger. Fifth was Justin Allgaier. Cole Custer 6th, SVG 7th, 8th was Austin Hill, 9th was Leland Honeyman, and 10th went to Sheldon Creed. And then the next incident, Austin Hill spun Eric Almirola around. That brought out the yellow on lap 68. Then after the restart, then we had another multi-car wreck. The 5 of Anthony Alfredo hit the wall, which cut a tire down. as he was trying to get off the track, he gets rammed by the 31 of Parker Retzlaff and the 11 of Josh Williams. Also collected the 10 of Daniel Dye. Dye continued on, but the other three were done for the day. And Riley Herbst pulled off a last lap move and ended up winning the Xfinity Series race at Indy. Results for the Pennzoil 250 presented by Advanced Auto Parts. Riley Herbst the winner, Cole Custer second, Eric Almirola third, Shane Van Gisbergen fourth, Sheldon Creed fifth, Austin Hill sixth, Daniel Dye seventh, AJ Allmendinger eighth, Justin Allgaier ninth, and Carson Kvapil complete the top 10. Then we go to the Cup Series race for the Brickyard 400 presented by PG. The race wasn't too bad, if you ask me. Stage 1 went to Denny Hamlin, second Kyle Larson, third Ryan Blaney, fourth went to William Byron. Running up the top 5 was Tyler Reddick, sixth was Michael McDowell, seventh Alex Bowman, Ty Gibbs, ninth Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Noah Gragson completed the top 10. Then we had a debris caution on lap number 70. And then our first incident, AJ Allmendinger got into an incident with William Byron, and they collected the 21 of Harrison Burton, typical of Harrison Burton's season, if you ask me. All three of them were done for the day. BJ McLeod blew up on lap number 15 as far as that's concerned. Stage 2 went to Bubba Wallace. Second went to Chase Elliott. Third went to Denny Hamlin. Fourth went to Ryan Blaney, with the top 5 rounded out by John Hunter Nemechek in Stage 2. Tyler Reddick, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Martin Truex Jr., Christopher Bell, and Chase Briscoe were your top 10 for the rest of Stage 2. Just after the restart, more trouble. This time, Martin Truex Jr. got into an incident made contact with the 5 of Larson. He goes into the wall. At the same time, Josh Berry checked up. Unfortunately, Ty Gibbs couldn't get slowed down. Josh Berry spun and nosed the front end of his Ford Dark Horse Mustang into the wall. His race was done as far as that's concerned. Just after the restart from that crash, more trouble, this time in turn number 1, as Ryan Blaney got loose after contact with Carson Hocevar and Austin Dillon. It sent the 84 of Jimmy Johnson into Joey Logano, took both cars into the wall. Austin Dillon, Blaney and Hocevar continued on, but Joey Logano and Jimmy Johnson were done for the day. A cut tire on Martin Truex Jr. as he spun in turn 3. He continued on. Then Kyle Busch made contact with Denny Hamlin with 2 laps to go in regulation. In turn number 3, he goes into the wall. Then the first overtime. Just after the restart, we have our first overtime. Denny Hamlin gets into an incident that was started with Daniel Hemrick turning John Hunter Nemechek, collected Chase Briscoe, Alex Bowman, and of course Denny Hamlin himself. The race was red flagged for 17 minutes, and then the final caution of the race came out when Ryan Preece ran out of gas. He couldn't get his car going. They just took the white flag. Kyle Larson ended up taking the caution and the checker flag to win the Brickyard 400 presented by PBG. Only 11 of the 39 starters in Cup failed to finish. The top 10 results for the Cup race: Kyle Larson the winner, Tyler Reddick second, Ryan Blaney third, Christopher Bell fourth, Bubba Wallace fifth, Todd Gilliland sixth, Austin Cindric seventh, Daniel Suarez eighth, Noah Gragson ninth, and Chase Elliott complete the top 10. So what did I think about the first ever Gen 7 race at the Brickyard 400? To me, I thought it was a very interesting race. It was pretty solid. It was pretty a good race, nevertheless. I thought we saw some very good racing. Was it as chaotic versus the Gen 6 car when we raced here 4 years ago? I don't think so. Some people didn't like the ending of the race, but you can't deny Kyle Larson, for having a good car as he did, and of course this is the same paint scheme he was supposed to run at Charlotte with the papaya orange on his HendrickCars.com Chevrolet, easy for me to say. It was a very good race, and so looking forward to seeing how that went as far as that's concerned. But yeah, see what happens. Nothing happened in the news other than Cole Custer announced he will be driving the number 41 Chevrolet, or not Chevrolet, Ford Mustang Dark Horse for Haas Factory team in the NASCAR Cup Series in 2025. Ryan Preece has not announced any plans for next season as far as that's concerned. Haley Deegan has been rumored to drive for Haas Factory team in the Xfinity Series. Don't know any details whether that's going to go through or not. We're just going to have to wait and see. So, yeah. Um, in regard to the IndyCar race at Toronto, regarding about the flip, I was kind of really disappointed with the fact that they should have thrown the yellow like 10 seconds after the incident happened, but a lot of drivers just came flying through. They're not even slowing down. And I'm like, what the hell are they doing? Because I just watched the IndyCar race yesterday as of this taping of our show. So I don't know what the deal was or what really happened, but nevertheless, it was kind of a overwhelming situation. So I don't know what the deal was or what happened or what caused this incident, but nevertheless, I'm glad all the drivers were okay, but a lot of torn up race cars and all that. So that's going to be something IndyCar is going to have to start thinking about. Can they start throwing yellows early if we have another big wreck like what we had? But thankfully, all the drivers are okay as far as that is. Um, and of course, later today on Twitch, I will be recording the IMSA podcast and all that because I got to get Zachary Taylor caught up, and we got to recap Le Mans and 24 hours and all that. So yeah. Um, Looking at the playoff standings with one race to go for the Truck Series, we have confirmed Corey Heim with his 5 wins, obviously the number 1 seed. Christian Eckes, the number 2 seed. Nick Sanchez, 3rd seed. Raja Carew. Ty Majeski with his win is now into the playoffs. Of course, into that race, 125 points above the cut line, but he's already in with a victory, so there you go. Tyler Ingram, Grant Enfinger have clinched the spot into the playoffs. We expect Taylor Gray to possibly clinch. The big battle for me is going to come down between Ben Rhodes, Daniel Dye, Tanner Gray, Stuart Friesen, possibly. As I look at the playoff standings, as I actually need to see if it got refreshed or not. I don't know if it did. Yes, it did. So, okay. So, Tyler Ingram is in. Grant Enfinger's in. Taylor Gray should get in. I think the big battle is going to come down to Stuart Friesen, Daniel Dye, Tanner Gray for that last spot. Matt Crafton, 43 points below the cut line. I think he's in a must-win. Chase Purdy's more than likely in a must-win. And then from Dean Thompson on down, everybody will be in a must-win situation. So, should be interesting to see who gets the final 3 spots into the playoffs. Looking at the playoff picture for the Xfinity Series, you have SVG, the number 1 seed, Austin Hill, Chandler Smith, 2 and 3 with Sam Mayer. Then we have Cole Custer, Justin Allgaier, Riley Herbst, Jesse Love. Eric Almirola does not qualify for the playoffs because he is not running for the Drivers' Championship because he's missed too many races. Ryan Sieg is now only. Because let's see, AJ Allmendinger is right now 9 because I don't count Eric Almirola because Eric Almirola has missed too many races, so he's eligible for the playoffs. Sheldon Creed, Parker Kligerman are 10th and 11th. Ryan Sieg is now 12th. Sammy Smith is only 3 points below the cut line because NASCAR website says Eric Almirola is in the playoffs when, to be honest with you, he's not even eligible for the playoffs. As I'm going to actually go look at the what Bob Pockrass tweeted for the Xfinity Series because they're saying that Eric Almirola is in the playoffs when he is not because 1, he's missed too many races, and 2, even though he went to victory lane, it would not be enough for him because, like I said, he's missed too many races because he's not running the full Xfinity Series schedule. So, yeah. So let me go to. So don't trust NASCAR.com because I have the full Pockrace. Here it is. I am correct. Ryan Sieg is 3 points above the cut line. Sammy Smith is 3 points below. Brandon Jones is 66 points below the cut line. I can tell you this: Brandon Jones is going to be in a must-win situation. Anthony Alfredo is going to be in a must-win. I think everybody that's eligible that's run every race this season is going to be in a must-win situation. The only ones that I'm not going to count are Eric Almirola, Kyle Sieg, Carson Quaffle, Matt DiBenedetto, because even those drivers have raced this season. They're not playoff eligibility. The only ones who are playoff eligibility, as far as those that are on the outside looking in, as far as the cut line is concerned, are Ryan Ellis, Blaine Perkins, Kyle Weatherman on up are playoff eligibility. Everybody else is not playoff eligibility. So yeah. Kevin Magnussen will be leaving Haas F1 to go. We don't yet know where. Of course, Ollie Behrman's replacing Nico Hulkenberg. I don't know who'll get that second ride. I'm not going to wager a guess. I'm just going to wait until sources tell me who's going to be in that ride. So we're just going to have to wait and see how that will play out. So, yeah. I'm not surprised Cole Custer's coming back to the Cup Series, to be honest with you. You know, he did okay in his first season with this next gen car, even though he didn't get the finishes to show for it, and he was sent back down to Xfinity. But you know, I'm really excited to see what happens, how this will play out, and should be a lot of fun. Is it going to be a is Ryan Preece going to modifieds? I don't know. Is he going to Xfinity? I don't know. I mean, he only has one win in his NASCAR career, which was the Truck Series. He's done okay in Xfinity, but he's nowhere ready for Cup material, in my opinion. I mean, yes, he's driving still for SHR, who will be ceasing operation at the end of the year, but he's not backed up his performances, and he's already below the cut line and already going to be in a must-win situation. So, I don't know, if Ryan Preece deserves to be in the Cup Series. I think he deserves to be either in Trust or Xfinity or late model. That's just my opinion, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. But like I said, I doubt he's going to be in the Cup Series next year. So that's just my opinion. We'll just have to wait and see what happens as far as that is concerned. Now, should mention Pocono Raceway, when we were supposed to do picks last week, was canceled since it was the only time we would be racing Pocono. The points would not be made up. So, yes, the point standings are down in the description. The global standings will also be down in the description as well. We are not going to have the drivers do predictions for the rest of the season, so the points tally will be null and void. So it'll just be the LTR standings going forward between all of us. But yeah, that it sucks, but that's the way it is. So yes, I'll give you guys my thoughts on the F1 season. It's nice to see that Red Bull's not dominating, even though they have a healthy lead in both the drivers and the constructors. It's nice to see them to have a competitive F1 field, even though we already know 9 times out of 10 Max Verstappen's going to win the championship. That's what I think if he doesn't have any more issues between now and then. Next year, I'm really would like to see McLaren get out of the gate. Get out of the gate like Red Bull, so we can have like a tighter championship, just like what we had 3 years ago with Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen duking it out for the drivers' championship. Phone, do not interrupt me while I'm trying to talk here. I think that would be a much competitive battle. Seeing that happen, that's just my opinion. Um, it would be cool to see a tighter championship battle and see McLaren and McLaren and Red Bull go at it. Maybe add if Ferrari can get their crap together, possibly Mercedes. We could have like a four team battle for the constructors. That would be something I would be interested in. And I know some people are going to be like, well, are you going to pick Max Verstappen to win the championship next year, boys? Never say never in F1 because 9 times out of 10, when some people are saying, "Oh, Max Verstappen's going to dominate like this year," and he's not dominated, and then all of a sudden, we have seen, McLaren finally win. The only one out of the big four that hasn't won is Checo, which rumors have it if Checo does not get his act together at Spa, there could be a replacement, and that could play major havoc as far as the constructors are concerned for Red Bull because. And I'm not saying Checo Perez, deserves another chance at Red Bull. I'm not gonna say that. I don't know if the 2-year contract extension has gotten to his head where he hasn't improved. But in my opinion, I would have put like a young driver in there just to give it a chance, possibly like Yuki Tsunoda, to see how he can do in a faster car because he's been okay with V carb. I just want to see how he does, or um, you got the data from Daniel Ricciardo, who's been okay in Red Bull, but he's never driven the Red Bull ever since we've had the new regulations because we are on year 3 with these new regulations, and I haven't seen how, and he's been okay over at VR. I probably think if Red Bull does make the move, and I'm just going to say this, and this is just my opinion, and you guys can agree or disagree with me in the comments, but we will just have to wait and see after the summer break. I would like to see Yuki Tsunoda race for Red Bull to see how he could do. That way, you guys have a little bit more data who you're going to have next to Max Verstappen if Checo does get released, and which breaks the 2-year contract. But that's just my opinion. You can let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. So, of course, Supercars also raced at Sydney, which, if I look at the results, that is not the results. Thank you very much. Surprise, surprise! Chas Mostert ended up winning both races, which Supercars has been really impressive. Because I look here, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different winners so far, and they've run 6 to 7 rounds with that many winners. That's pretty impressive to say the least. So now you know the championship. It's called Game On. Of course, their next race will be at Tasmania before they go to Sandown and Bathurst, and also they have 5 more races left to go. We still have the Enduros, which is Sandown and Bathurst, then the Gulf Coast, and then the Adelaide 500 to finish off the year. It's going to be a fun championship battle. Their next race will be August 17th and 18th in Tasmania. September 15th will be Sandown, which will be a double points, and so is the Bathurst 7,000. And then they'll have 2 races to finish off the season at the Gulf Coast at Surfers Paradise and the LA Street Circuit for the LA 500. So that's going to be a fun championship coming down to. Looking at Brody Kostecki, I do not see him. So we're definitely going to guarantee ourselves a new championship. It's more than likely it's going to be Will Brown's championship to lose. But like I said, never say never when you have like 600 points on the line. So never say never in supercars. And then Formula E, Pascal Wehrlein ended up winning the championship, which I'm happy for Pascal. I mean, think about the career he's been. He's been with so many drivers. Like, he was in F1, didn't do well. Ever since he's come with Formula E, he finally has won something. It's really funny that F1 drivers that race at other series like the World Endurance, which we will talk about that on Twitch later today, or when you see the episode out in September, which will be a discussion on Brazil and Le Mans with Zachary Taylor and myself, or possibly with me. It's really incredible. And, Pascal has wanted to win a championship, wanted to win something, and I'm super happy for him to win the championship at in Formula E. So their new season will be in December, the same week we wrap up our 2023 portion and all that. We will save the recapping for 2025. 2024 portion we'll recap in 2025. So yeah, see, this is what happens when I haven't streamed a podcast taped in quite some time. And some people will probably say nice derp. To be fair, it's not a derp. So yeah. Let's see here. I don't have any other topics to discuss here. So the only race we have to preview is the Belgium Grand Prix from Spa. Should be an interesting race. I just did the F1 24 from Belgium, which if you have not seen that video, you can go ahead and click the link in the top right-hand corner or see my playlist. You probably know who would win Prix, which I can't believe I'm saying this. I got 72 views for that. Wow. Impressive. It should be an interesting race at Spa-Francorchamps, and can't wait to see what will happen in that race. So let me just go straight to my prediction for me and my drivers as far as that is concerned. I'm going to use the Taylor method as always. Let's start off with the driver to stay away from. Going back to the previous race, back at Hungary, I am going to take. I'm going to say this one's going to be a difficult one, but I am going to say Yuki Tsunoda will be my stay away from. My dark horse, Lando Norris. And my winner, Leclerc. So that's who I'm going to take. Of course, the reason I'm taking Leclerc is because, we're coming to a track where that was his first career win in F1. I would like to see Leclerc finally get a victory because he hasn't done jack ever since he won the Monaco Grand Prix back in May. So, that is something, I want to see happen for him as far as that is concerned. So, yes. Looking forward to Belgium. Should be a lot of fun. And I think we're in for a very good race weekend, nevertheless, here in the Belgium GP. And let's pull up our motorsports.com to see what we got for upcoming coming up next week. As with this week's upcoming awesome racing events. Also, should mention, I wish all the Olympians good luck. We don't have anything next week, so we'll be off next week. We'll be back in 2 weeks to preview Richmond for Trucks and Cup, as well as the just Richmond only, because IndyCar does not come back until we head to the Irish Hills of Michigan. That should be a lot of fun. Which we'll also have DTM, we'll have cars and all that back and all that yada yada yada. So we're off next week. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time to preview the race weekend at Richmond. Should be a lot of fun. Don't forget to join Rowdy, myself, Demon, Tyler, Jeremy, Beans for the Let's Talk Rowdy show tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for on this weekend's races from Indianapolis. We got possibly Jim Bob going to be on the show and all that yada yada yada, and preview and talk about the F1 race coming up this weekend from Belgium. Hope you will join us for that. It should be a blast. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for tonight's episode of Triple P. Tune in 2 weeks as we will talk about the race weekend from Belgium. We'll preview the race coming up at Richmond, which will be only Trucks and Cup. It is the last race before the playoffs, and do want to remind everybody, the Truck Series, there will not be Cup drivers for the last 8 races, which is Richmond and all the playoff races, because it is critical for the Truck Series drivers to focus on the playoffs, so that way there's no Cup drivers over there screwing up the playoff grid, if you know what I mean. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to a good show. We'll discuss IMSA and World Endurance with Zachary Taylor, which I'm looking forward to that. So, yeah. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for joining me for tonight's episode of Triple P. It has been a blast. Nevertheless, if you know what I mean. If you guys like this episode, be sure to give it a like. Don't forget, if you're watching this on Twitch, you can follow me here at PCSRay26 on that. If you're watching on YouTube, as always, make sure you give this video a like. If you haven't considered subscribing yet, I highly recommend you do so in order to keep up with some wonderful content coming out in the near future, as well as future episodes of your favorite podcast coming out throughout the rest of this week and onward to the next. Spoiler warning, I have the Hogwarts Legacy videos. If you haven't watched them on my YouTube channel, PCSRay Blue Hedgehog 26, please give it a check and let me know what you think about the Let's Play on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. We survived another Triple P episode, and I'm Gina Bulls, the Blue Hedgehog, saying good night from Yukon, Oklahoma. You've been listening to Triple P on the PCSRay Radio Network. Good night, everybody.